This week, we're helping a South Louisiana couple put a lid on their hurricane-damaged home.
The severe weather that comes through, it's kind of a cost of living here.
And we wouldn't want to live anywhere else.
I've been helping homeowners improve their home for a lot of years. They think it's intimidating, but it actually can be a lot of fun.
And we're here to help. Dad's the expert, but I've learned a few things along the way.
Practical, realistic home improvement information is what today's homeowner is all about. This historic home in South Louisiana sits right on the bayou and belongs to David and Ruby LeBlanc.
We've lived here in this house for 34 years. We have 2 girls and 3 grandchildren.
Our granddaughter Jess lives here with us because, of course, who wouldn't want to live with the coolest grandparents ever? Our home is an old estate home, and parts of it was built in the 20s and parts of it was built in the 40s. There was a general store attached to this house, so it has lots of character and a lot of quirky points.
We love being outside. We like spending time out here. We have all these oak trees, which we really love. It's almost like a park setting at times. However, comes to storms and storm season, there's a lot of debris that falls out the trees, so there's a lot of maintenance.
The most recent storm to hit David and Ruby's home was Hurricane Zeta.
Hurricane Zeta was not forecasted to be as severe as it turned out to be. It was very frightening. I mean, it had a lot of strong winds with it. I think they were clocked here 120 mile an hour to 125 mile an hour sustained winds for a period of about 4 hours.
When it did end and we did come out, we had a couple of crepe myrtles that had fallen over, lots of bushes that were laid down. Jess had a sheet of metal wrapped around her car.
A large branch had broken off and the wind drove it into the roof. It tore about a 4-foot by 16-foot section of roof open on the porch area. So many homes received roof damage that the local lumber yards, you had to get whatever they had. So there's different colored shingles that were put on the roof to be able to patch it up.
We've had all the mismatched shingles for 6 months now, and I'm tired of seeing the different colored shingles.
The severe weather that comes through, it's kind of a cost of living here.
But we love our small community. We love living here on the water with Bayou Lafouche running right in front of the house, and we wouldn't want to live anywhere else.
I notice you've got a little roof damage up there that you've repaired, but I hear you're getting a brand new roof.
Yes,
Yes,
we are. We're excited about that.
We are very excited about getting a new roof, a new metal roof. After Hurricane Zeta, most of the homes that had a metal roof had no roof damage, or if they did, it was very minor.
I understand the one you chose is not just a simple metal roof. I saw the pictures of it. That looks great.
Thank you. We thought about it. We debated about all of that, and
We wanted the look of more of a shingle style roof instead of the typical metal roofs.
that's pretty, and that's our style of house. I didn't know a roof could be so pretty. I was afraid what the metal roof would look like on the house because we worked on it for so many years, and we like to keep it authentic.
So we did some research online and we found this metal shingle style roof that we chose to go with. I really like this shingle. This is nice shingle.
You know, David and Ruby really did a lot of research. They obviously love their house,
Yes.
and this is the perfect roof for where they are right here.
David's getting old and he can't climb on the roof.
Yeah, he looks like an old guy right there.
That's true. But you know, it comes with hurricane clips and 150-mile-an-hour wind protection,
Wow,
so it's long term.
Yeah, makes sense.
Long term, yes.
Did y'all have other damage from that storm?
Oh yes, we did. We had, well, as you can tell here in the landscaping, we had 2 crepe myrtles here and they fell over and died.
And that's what these are?
That's the crepe myrtles
Okay.
here.
We'll be
Yes.
happy to help you with that. But what are some of the other things that Chelsea and I can do while we're here for these few days?
So one of the things that creates us a problem, and you know, storms, you never know exactly when they're going to roll in or
True.
can turn at the last minute. So is boarding and protecting your house. Now, on the front of the house, we do have some closable shutters.
Yeah, those
Man,
are
those
beautiful.
look fantastic.
So I had built those some number of years back. Within seconds, you can close and protect those windows on the house with those style shutters. We don't have them on the rest of the house because the window spacing is not the same or doesn't allow that type of shutter. So you scrambling in bad weather and stuff like that to try to shutter them or board them up in some way.
We have had to board this house quite frequently. Some seasons 2 or 3 times in a season.
What are some of the other things that you have around here?
There is a door or unit that we needed to replace. The loss of the seal between the glasses on the French door is a result of the storm from the wind pressure and all pushing on the door.
There's humidity in between the 2 pieces of glass on the French door and that's really, really bothering me. So I'm looking forward to swapping that out.
Why don't we get some measurements, and I bet we can find some plywood around here.
Okay.
I bet we can also find some crawfish around here.
I'm sure you can.
Sawhorses are great when you're cutting plywood or lumber, but if you use them for a finished piece, to support a finished piece like a door, a tabletop, or anything like that, you could scratch up the workpiece. So to prevent that from happening, all you need is a strip of carpet. This is a remnant carpet that I cut about 5 inches wide and a little longer than the rail on the Sawhorse itself. This Sawhorse happens to have notches in it to hold the 2x4 support, but I'm not going to be using them for a while, so I'm just going to go right over those. If I need to, I can always come back and cut out the carpeting. But you essentially just put the carpeting on there, center it on the top of the Sawhorse, press it down to conform to the top of the Sawhorse, then attach it with a few staples and staple it on the side. That's important. You want to staple it on top because if the staples work loose, they might scratch up your workpiece. So with it stapled along both sides, you have a nice cushion surface that'll protect your work.
Simple Solutions is brought to you by Type Bond, the pro's advantage.
Coming up,
Why did you even remove them?
I was asking myself that question. David and Ruby's Bayou home needs some repairs after a recent hurricane. First thing in the morning, the roofers arrive with the new metal shingles. To prepare the roof, they start by trimming around the eaves and installing underlayment over the existing shingles. Meanwhile, David and I get ready to replace their fogged door. You know, deconstruction is just as important as construction. And I'm telling you, when you can score around that trim, that can be the difference between whether you tear that wall up or whether you're able to put it right back where it is. We're gonna do this one the right way.
Score the caulk first.
She's not putting this back, so don't worry about breaking it.
Well, it always seems like blinds are hard to install and sometimes even harder to take down. Now it's just figuring out how to get this blind off.
Just flip something, so I assume if I turn this around.
Why did you even remove them? You're just getting rid of the whole door.
I was asking myself that question.
Well, first thing I think about once we pulled that door casing out was my wife was going to start grabbing a vacuum cleaner.
When I saw the plaster falling on my oak floors, I needed to clean it. I love to clean. It's therapeutic. It's instant. No paperwork. Done.
While we prep for the new door, Chelsea's working on a better solution to protect David and Ruby's side windows.
Before we can cut our plywood to size, we need to measure the windows to make sure we make them just right. Let's say 42 and a half.
42 and a half, okay.
All right, then let me throw it over here real quick.
Yeah, because nothing here is standard.
No, never.
Every window that David has ever ordered to replace had to be custom made. Some things are not level. Most things are not level.
All right, let's let her rip.
All right.
To the naked eye, these windows look exactly the same size. In this case, we actually have 2 windows that are 43 inches wide and 2 windows that are 42.5 inches wide. And I noticed, Ruby, they labeled the wood for us because we're the A crew.
Oh, we're the A crew. I like
The
that.
guys are the B crew.
Or Z.
So we were the Z crew?
Yeah.
The guys were the Z crew?
Yeah. We were the pretty ones.
That kind of puts it in perspective, doesn't it?
You know, I hear all the nailing and all the noise on the roof. Sounds like they're making progress. I think I'll go check it out with Tyler with the roofing company.
You know, we did a roof like this before, and I was pretty impressed with the panels, how they hook together like that. That's got to add to the strength.
Absolutely, Danny. We start with the starter strip going across the front. All the shingles lock into that on the first course, and then they lock in on all 4 sides all the way around.
There's something here that's a little bit different. I see the foam underneath there, a little bit of insulation.
Absolutely, a little bit of R value, but the big thing that it does is it adds the walkability, and it also adds nail resistance.
Oh man, that's good. That's important. But hurricanes, what else do you do to really strengthen this roof that maybe you wouldn't do if it was in another part of the country?
So we use 3 hurricane clips per 2-foot shingle, and because of that, the manufacturer gives us a 150-mile-an-hour wind warranty.
Oh man, I hope we never see any winds more than that.
Well, down here in the south, we never know.
I know it. Well, that looks good. I also think it's pretty sharp there doing the first part of this in the shade. That's pretty smart.
Hey, work smarter, not harder.
Okay, do you want the roller or the brush?
Oh, I want the brush.
Oh, okay. It's not totally necessary to paint the plywood, but since it is going to be in storage for 99% of the time, this will help protect it and help the wood last longer. So is Ruby a French name?
No. One day I asked my mom, why is my name Ruby? And she said, oh, there was the most beautiful shrimp boat named Ruby May. And she told me that the woman who the boat was named after was a very beautiful woman.
I mean, that sounds pretty cool to be from the bayou and to be named after a shrimp boat. I mean, can you get any more Cajun?
Under cabinet lighting is so nice because it illuminates those dark corners on your countertop so you have more workspace. But to be honest, they're a little cumbersome to install. That's why tape lighting has become all the rage. It's got really bright LED lights, so it really does illuminate underneath your cabinets. Well, EcoSmart has come out with an even smarter tape light. Take a look at this right here. It is an LED light. The nice thing is you can control it with a remote control. So I can turn it on and I can choose from all these different colors to illuminate, or what I can do is control the temperature of the color. So I can press another button, that comes on, and see how it's nice and warm? Well, I can make that look cool. Another thing that makes this so smart is once you download the HubSpace app, you can control those lights with the app, control the temperature, but you can also set them on a timer. So no more dark spaces on your countertops.
This Best New Product segment is brought to you by the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
After the break, a new twist on insulation.
Today, I learned how a Cajun caulks.
At the start of day 2, we're ready to finish sealing David and Ruby's new French door.
Well, it's like they always say, you always can learn something new. And today, I learned how a Cajun caulks. Hey, Ruby, I need to ask you a question. Was it really that cold last night?
No, it really wasn't, but I'm afraid of lizards.
Lizards.
When I was younger, I had very long hair, and a lizard fell in my hair and proceeded to make its way through my hair, tangling up all the way. My mom had to extract the lizard, but the tail stayed in my hair, still wiggling, and to this day, it still gives me the shivers.
You used 2 rolls of paper towels to prevent lizards from coming in?
Pretty much. So I caulked it myself.
Well,
I've got some expandable foam. I was going to take care of that so that David and I can put the trim up. So
Thank you.
You want to maybe recycle some paper towels? Once I properly insulate the space around the door, I can't resist having a little more fun with Ruby.
And I know to stay away from messing with her with lizards now. But Danny kind of grabbed the lizard, and I told him, you're gonna make that little Cajun woman upset.
Danny didn't realize that if he got really close to me with a lizard, I might have taken out my Cajun spirit on him.
No.
So we already pre-drilled all of the holes in the plywood for our screws. So now we need to hold the plywood in place. We'll mark the holes where we're gonna put the anchors. So these will live in the trim, and then when you know a hurricane's coming, you can just back the screws out and bing, 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 attach the shutters. Now that we have the location for our anchors, we can pre-drill the holes with a 1/2-inch drill bit before we drive the anchors in and then attach the plywood sheets with the screws. Nice. Oh, beautiful. I like these anchors and screws because they're always going to be in place, and David and Ruby don't have to continue drilling new holes into their house's trim every time a storm comes.
While work continues on the roof, the manufacturer of these metal shakes drops by to see if David and Ruby have any questions.
So maintenance, cleaning. What's the best products or something to use for cleaning?
Well, down here in southern Louisiana, of course, mildew grows every place, and you guys know that.
Oh, yes.
A lot of times you'll use water and maybe detergent or maybe trisodium phosphate. So it's really pretty simple to clean if you need to. You also could use a light power washing or something like that if you have to, too.
Okay, good.
Light power washing.
Light power washing,
Light
yes.
power
Light
washing.
power washing.
Should it sustain damage from a hurricane, what would we have to do then?
We will actually take a new panel, cut off the locks, and cap over that damaged panel with a new panel. And so you don't have to tear into the inner locks and open it up or anything. You just literally cap over the damaged portion.
It's beautiful. I can't wait for it to be completely done.
Now that we have their hurricane shutters prepared, we can move on to finishing up the landscaping.
Yeah, let's do that. Dang, Chelsea.
She's pulling, isn't she?
Oh, that's good. All right.
Okay, Ruby, where do you want this one planted at? We want to dig this hole one time.
Here. It's very difficult to plant the front landscaping in the front of the house because years ago there was a parking lot here and it's filled with oyster shells.
Look at the worms. Somebody should go fishing with all these worms, dude.
Yeah, man, look at all those worms.
There you go. Pick them up. You might catch something in the bayou.
Any fish over there in that bayou?
Sure. They got a few.
Well, let me go see if I can find another shovel. I'll be right back.
All right.
Are we shy on shovels? I was okay without one. Are you sure this isn't concrete?
It's shells.
Oh yeah, it's not gonna be fun.
Did y'all see that?
You know, I really couldn't find that shovel I was looking for. Found something else I like better.
Yeah, you were looking in the wrong spot, that's why.
I thought that was a shovel. Well, where the heck did he get that fishing pole? I know he didn't come over here with a fishing pole.
I was kind of surprised. Made me kind of want to push him in.
Well, I hope you don't catch anything but a cold.
Or an alligator.
Yeah. Well, how was the fishing then?
Oh, I caught some.
Yeah. Is it something you can serve for dinner?
No, I don't think
Not
so.
so
No,
much.
No, maybe like a salad. David and Ruby's home has been weathering hurricanes on the bayou for 3/4 of a century. But the most recent storm had taken a toll. The damage to the roof left it looking like a patchwork quilt that they feared might only get unstitched again next season. And their French door was too fogged to recognize their own grandchildren through. Now they have a beautiful new roof that not only protects the house from whatever the weather can dish out, it also enhances the beauty of this classic old home. Chelsea's new storm panels for the side windows aren't visible, but that's the point. They can be easily added whenever they're needed. Plus, the new French door looks great and makes welcoming guests easier than ever, which is a good thing because David and Ruby are all about hospitality. They don't just make new friends, they make new family.
I'm totally ecstatic. I love the roof.
The roof is more than what we expected.
I love the color of the roof. I love the texture. It looks like shingles. It looks so casual.
Extremely satisfied with the wind loads, protection for storms, the low maintenance, and couldn't be more pleased.
And I love the door. The door is beautiful and you can see through it so clearly. It's almost like the glass isn't even there. It's so beautiful. And I can't wait for our grandchildren to come over because then I'll be able to see them right away when they come.
You know, each week Chelsea and I talk about how much fun we have helping homeowners improve their homes. This week was very special. David and Ruby are so passionate about the home they've lived in for over 30 years, and they want to make sure that everybody has a great time when they drop by. Hey, thanks so much for being with us here on today's Homeowner, and we hope we see you next week. And when you're in Louisiana, you just have to have some crawfish, right? Well, I'm going to dig in. We'll see you next week.
Danny didn't realize how fearful I really am of lizards. And he thought it was quite funny to stick it. Ah!
So what we're looking forward to
Don't talk about the French doors, that's me.
So what we're looking forward to with now you see you done messed me all up. I'm sorry, guys. You see, that's what happens, right?